Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome to practice one for the 2025 Formula 1 Japanese Grand Prix. Ooh, we got the Japanese music. We got the Japanese F1 theme. Anyways, what is up? Welcome on, and if it's your first time here for a watch along, this is how it works. You got my face over here. You got the live timings here. You got the session timer down in the bottom left that you can sync on up with, and you got amazing Twitch chat that you're able to chat and have a good time all together watching practice one. Now we do this for every single Grand Prix weekend, for every single session. So join me later on today for practice 2. Join me tomorrow for practice 3 and qualifying, the race on Sunday, and then as well as Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and all the other Grand Prix this year. Now we've got a big practice one ahead of us. We've got Liam Lawson's first time back in the V-Carb this year, and Yuki Tsunoda's debut in Red Bull Racing at his home Grand Prix. So yeah, let's see how it plays out. Will Liam crash? Will Yuki crash? Will anyone else crash? Obviously a very hard track to drive. We have the session about to begin, so let's get on into it. I've now unmuted the broadcast, so let's go. Anyways, YouTube chat, how are you all doing? What's up, Henry? Sup. Let me just quickly open my YouTube chat so I can see that. And I also need to go live on TikTok. For some reason, TikTok might be the best app. TikTok might be the best app, but the shittest made app for web browser. Like, holy shit. Even on phone, to be fair, it's like really fucking ugly. Like, oh my god, I swear, shit just doesn't work ever on TikTok. So for instance, I've gone live and my title's
Hey
changed.
Ponden,
Why?
this must be a weird race for you. You liked Liam a lot, didn't you?
Sup, Anton? Thank you so much for the 39-month resub, dude. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate supporting the stream for that long. That is wild. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's weird. I mean, Liam back at V-Cup is going to be kind of normal. Yuki at Red Bull, though, is going to be weird. Oh, and the white Red Bull livery. Oh my god, so sexy. We're going to see it out on track for the first time. We'll talk about that in a second. I just need to quickly go live on TikTok. Let me just quickly do this real quick. Practice one. F1 Japanese Grand Prix practice one. Okay, going live. Alright, we should be live on the talk now. Should be live on the talk. If someone could check for me, please. Alright. Sup, your local Formula 1 fan. Will Yuki break the RB second driver curse? I don't think so, but I hope he does. Obviously, for people who haven't been watching my Twitch streams since the news, basically, my thoughts are I want Yuki to do well as a Red Bull fan. I think having the problem solved will help Max, will help the team. It would be amazing. But at the same time, I'm not like, this better work, blah, 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 because it's like, well, at the end of the day, if it doesn't work, it makes Liam look good. And the hate for Liam of being so shit in the Red Bull will kind of be like, okay, it was the car. So, yeah, but I don't know. I just hope Liam does well at V-Carb. I hope Yuki does well at Red Bull. That's my hope, man. That is my hope. Anyways, cars coming on track. Let me get the timer up once we can see it. Timer is up. Let me get my timer up. Who's first out on track? By the way, get your channel points predictions in over on Twitch, guys. Who is going to be the top of the FP1 standings? 59. All right, the timer is up. Boom. Liam out on track in the V-Carb. There he is. Let's go, Liam. Redemption time is now. Show Red Bull what they missed out on. They've kept the two-door sponsor on the rear wing. Oh wow, the Red Bull front-on looks really weird. The Red Bull text on the front wing looks doesn't stand out at all. It does not look like a Red Bull front-on. The Gate.io logo combined with the Red Bull text on the front wing. But here we go. This is monumental. Yuki Tsunoda, Japanese driver in the Red Bull, powered by a Honda power unit around the Japanese Grand Prix on debut. Keep it on track, man. Just keep it on track. The cherry blossoms look beautiful. Oh my god, that livery is so fucking sexy. Holy. It looks really dead front on, but side on, beautiful. Honestly, put Red Bull text on the rear wing. Problem solved. Voss Ultra, thank you for the follow. Anton, I've already thanked Anton. No, Anton, thank you for the 1 month membership. Is that what you call them? Thank you for the membership on YouTube. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate supporting on both Twitch and YouTube. Appreciate it, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Didn't you watch him drifting with the F1 yesterday? True. He was obviously in the Red Bull Racing car, but this is his debut in a proper Formula One session in a proper Red Bull Racing car. Yeah. Sup Artemis the Valk, how's it going? Didn't you watch him? Oh, I read that. Sup Menu, how's it going today? It looks so weird looking at Red Bull and V Carb both white. Yeah. Honestly, V Carb looks way more like a Red Bull than the white Red Bull does, in my opinion. It's like something I'm now very confused and remind me I'm too old for Twitch. Oh no, what have you done, Emily? What have you done? Loud eye music, what the fuck is going on? Wait, you didn't like the Japanese music? Really? We are subs even going towards your cocaine addiction. They're going towards living my life and making content better, man. Making content better. It was weird seeing Yuki and Liam change on the ESPN intro. Wait, was the F1 intro different? Did anyone check? Was the F1 intro different on the broadcast? I didn't check. I might have to rewind and have a look. Your TikTok live is all good. Thank you for checking, Spencer. Thank you. What do you think about the proposal of Monaco having races with 2 pit stops instead of 1 pit stop? I think it'll be good. Here we go. First laps from Sonoda. We'll talk about Monaco in a second. Let's just focus on the Yuki laps right now. How's he gonna do? Everyone's gonna be looking at his practice times so well. So closely, I should say. Oh my god, he's already oversteered out of the corner, holy. Have you seen it onboard yet? I want to see the onboard, what it looks like. T-cam view of the new Red Bull. All right. So Yuki goes up to a 132. Where was that? 132.4? Did I just say? Was that 2 seconds off a max? Wait, I'm waiting for it to pop up on my live timings. My live time is obviously delayed to the broadcast. There you go. P4 132.5. So 2 seconds off a max right now, but ahead of Liam. Wow. Ratioed Liam straight off the bat, straight out the gates. Holy shit, you're way ahead of me. What broadcast are you watching on, Larry? Imagine Liam gets top 10 in FP1. That'd be dope. But yeah, no one's going to be paying attention to practice, really, are they? Yuki about to show he always should have been in that car. Yeah, we'll see. Goey Morgan. Oh, what's up, Hanny? Do you think Liam's cooked? I don't think so. I think the biggest talking point about Liam and Yuki here is Yuki has kind of no pressure. If he does well, amazing. If he does bad, then it's just everyone's going to realize, oh, it's the car. Red Bull will know it. Fans will know it. Even he will know it. It's the car. Okay. And there's like no pressure really on you. I mean, there's pressure, but there's no like worry about his career being over if he can't be good at the Red Bull, right? Liam, however, if he does bad against Hadja, it's, oh my God, you're losing to a rookie. This is not great. Here we go. What's happening? Is this Yuki's? Yeah, this is the oversteer Yuki had. Oh my God, yeah, look at the oversteer. It was a good save from Yuki, to be fair. And if he does good against Hadja, people just be like, oh, well, it's just a rookie anyway, and be comparing him to Yuki. Yeah, obviously, ideal world for Liam is Yuki struggles on the Red Bull and he absolutely cooks on the V carb. So we'll see how it plays out. But obviously, I'm rooting for Liam, man. I really want Liam to prove himself. I want him to come back. I want him to do like an Albon. I want him to do a Gasly and come back and be a solid driver. I don't want him to be out of the sport, but we'll see. We'll see. Call me pessimistic. They just stated that Rio is in Jack's car's rookie needing laps instead of Pierre's car because it's something Pierre wants to work out. Love Rio, but setting Jack up for failure. Yeah, really good point. For people that don't know, Hirakawa is filling in for practice one for Jack Doohan today as one of the rookie tests. If you don't know, every single F1 team needs to do 6, I think, or have they upped it to 8, or is it still 4? I don't know. They need to do at least 4, at least 2 different practice sessions where they put a rookie in the car. So a driver who's done 2 or less Grand Prix has to go in the car for at least 2 practice sessions this year. So usually they do one driver each. So today they've chosen to take Jack Doohan out of the car and put Hirakawa in. Now, if that's what Alpine said, they want Gazzy to work on something, fair enough. But at the same time, like, Jack Doohan needs as much time in the car as possible. And I don't know if Jack Doohan's ever been to Suzuka in his career. So kind of compromising him of not having practice one is, yeah, that's really, really tough for Jack. But I hope it doesn't affect him this weekend so much. But it's cool to see a Japanese driver, obviously Hirakawa, getting his chance in an F1 car. Is this Hirakawa's first time in an F1 car in an actual session? I believe he did Abu Dhabi testing, but I don't know about an actual session. Boccanino, thank you for the follow on the stream. What am I missing? Chat. Finally caught you live because your stream times are not too friendly to NZ limit. Yeah, I think New Zealand gets the most fucked by my stream time just because, yeah, I go live at like midnight your guys' time and end at like 8 a.m. I'm sorry, Artemis, but yeah, welcome to the stream, dude. F1 TV was different. Swap Yuki in there, it was different. Also, they did have a different intro. Okay, I have to go back and watch that afterwards. So who's more nervous, you or Sonoda? What's up, Tanks, man? What am I nervous for? I mean, am I nervous for Liam? I guess, but I guess at the end of the day, if Liam can't perform at V-Carb, one of the most stable cars on the grid, then yeah, I mean, I'm not really nervous for Liam. It's either he does bad and it is what it is, or he does good and I'm happy. I don't. To be honest, I'm probably more nervous. Yuki doesn't seem to be a nervous person at all, so we'll see how he does in Ripple. I hope that helps. I hope him not being a nervous driver, and like doesn't feel the pressure. I hope that helps him, but I am worried that means he's gonna push too hard, become overconfident, and then kind of like crash the car. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, damn, V-Cub's looking good already on these hard tires. Everyone knows Yuki's done at Red Bull once they move to Ford. You reckon? You reckon even if Yuki does well, he's just done once they move to a Ford engine? I don't think that's the case. If Yuki does well, they're 100% keeping him. He's never driven here. Yeah, so you're taking a practice session away from Jack Doohan, a driver who's in his 4th race ever in Formula One, and from a track that he's never driven before. That's wild. That's wild. No one likes a car setup that Max has. Yeah, oh, yeah. I mean, it's just Max loves that very perfect. Loves that really pointy car, that super small window. And if you can drive in that window, you're gonna be able to put that car into a fighting position. But other drivers just won't be able to do that. It's 3:30 a.m. for me. What's up, Uncle Jerry? Yeah, it's 3:30 for me as well. So that's why we are whispering. But we'll be back to normal for the other sessions this weekend. Okay, thank you for the gifted. Alonso's second. I swear the 33rd win is coming. I'm delusional. I mean, yeah, they're looking pretty good they're looking very good on the hard tires as well. They're looking very good on the hard tires as well. By the way, welcome everyone on to the TikTok live streams. My first time going live for a practice session. For a watch along session on TikTok. So welcome in everyone. If you're new here, my name is Ponden. I'm a content creator for Oracle Rebel Sim Racing. I do a bunch of watch alongs. I do a watch along for every single session for every single Grand Prix weekend. I go live on Twitch and YouTube. So if you prefer to chat to me in Twitch chat or YouTube chat, feel free to type in Ponden on Twitch or YouTube, or my links are in my bio. But yeah, just thought I'd do a little spiel because I see we've got a good amount of viewers here on the TikTok stream for the first time. So hello everyone. Oh, something's just come off Was that Gazzy's car or Hirakawa? Oh, something just came off Hirakawa's car. Oh my god, that's not good. How are we looking so far? So Yuki, a second off max. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, look, I don't want to look too much into practice times. At the end of the day, Liam was good in practice. Liam was good in testing, in my opinion. He showed a lot of confidence. It's when you need to extract the maximum out of the car, when everyone's pushing and every millisecond matters. That's when it counts. So we'll have to see how Yuki does in quali. He's showing the laps. I cannot show the broadcast, unfortunately, Uncle Jerry, as it is copyright. But obviously got the live timings, got everything else, basically. Red Bull livery looks like Haas. Red Bull looks garbage. You think the livery looks garbage? Man, I think that is such a sexy livery from the side. I think front on's a bit disappointing. I can see now why they didn't post any like front on images on socials, because it doesn't look that great, but side on's so sexy. And then Haas as well, we haven't spoken about it. Haas also bring a special livery this weekend. Love it, man, love it. That is the perfect example of an adapted livery, taking your already existing livery and adapting it to be themed to the Grand Prix or themed to whatever. Love it. The pink cherry blossoms, it's beautiful. The white and pink is just gorgeous. But obviously, again, it's nothing too crazy because it's just an adaptation of the already existing livery. And then you've got Red Bull, a prime example of, I mean, you are taking your already existing livery. Well, you're not really taking your existing livery. You're just taking your existing sponsor layout and completely changing the livery. And that white, man, I don't think I've ever seen a finish on a car like that before. Like, you look at the V-Carb, that is matte white. It's a good looking car, but matte white is just kind of, that, like, oh, I don't even know what you call it. Satin, I think he called it. Satin white, like creamy. Oh, it's so good. And then the fucking, the metallic red on the Red Bull logo is so hot, man. So hot. Paint job is a 10 out of 10. I do prefer the White Bull livery design. Sorry, from the Turkey 2021. I prefer that White Bull livery design just because there's a bit more color pop. There's a bit more going on. But man, the paint job on the fucking Red Bull, the 2025 one is so sexy. All right, Liam stays in 13th right now. Quite a fair bit off Hedger. If you like F1, don't follow Ponden, and you don't follow Ponden, you're weird. Facts. Shout out to my Instagram message about an old reaction video. I really appreciate it. No worries at all, Emily. Oh, that's you. I see. No, I've mentioned that on stream yesterday, actually, Emily. I really appreciate that you pointed that out. What's happened in Orlando, yeah. Ooh. Just kind of cruising through the chicane sections. Yeah, you gotta be really careful on those curves, otherwise you're gonna get a little bit of airtime. But yeah, thank you, Emily. If you don't know, basically, Emily messaged me on Instagram saying, hey, I was watching your old Spanish Grand Prix reactions, and I noticed you mentioned the Red Bull car being bad that weekend. And it's kind of funny thinking back how, that was Spanish Grand Prix 2023 is where Red Bull traced back their development to starting to have problems. And that was in my reactions, I said, I reckon this is a car problem more than Checo. And it's kind of crazy how that all played out in the end. Okay, so they're saying balance is okay, but he's not pushing yet. So once he pushes more, will he then see the problems? Look at that Haas, man. That's so sexy. Again, nothing too crazy, but as an adapted livery, that is beautiful. Helmets wise, we've got a lot of special helmets this weekend. Sorry, not Behrman. Ocon's is amazing. It looks like Charles Leclerc's helmet, I'm not going to lie. But I absolutely love Leclerc's helmet. I really love Ocon's helmet. Piastri's bought a special helmet. I'm not a huge fan. I think it's way better than his base helmet. And it's quite nice, the blue and the white, but not a huge fan. Norris special helmet, amazing. Japanese vibes, matches the theme he's been going for this weekend. Max's special helmet, the white, again, is just gorgeous. Who else has a special helmet? Leclerc's is amazing. Again, that white and red is fucking beautiful. L1s I haven't had a proper look at yet. Yuki's amazing. I absolutely love Yuki's helmet this weekend. It looks like a marshmallow. I want to fucking eat it so good. I want to eat it so bad. And I think that's it. I think that's it for special helmets, unless I'm missing any. Who's my favorite driver? So my favorite driver is Liam Lawson and Max Verstappen. They're my favorite too. And favorite team, obviously Red Bull. We got the V-carb shirt on today, the unironed V-carb shirt that I just took out the wash. Ignore the fucking, holy, I need to iron that. That looks so bad. The Kabuki helmet is so gas. The Kabuki helmet, who's that in reference to? Curious about tire choices during practice. Do folk shoes you run on softs first, or does it not matter? I don't think it really matters too much. I think some drivers come out in the soft just to get their car kind of like in the right window for a couple laps, and then they come out in the mediums or the hards. Typically, practice one is always used to do long runs. It's better to set your car up for long runs first than for qualifying, but mainly because FP2 is the same time or roughly the same time as qualifying the next day. So it makes sense to do your qualifying runs in FP2 because assuming the day is the same, like roughly the same temp and roughly the same, sun, like it's not raining. You want to do your qualifying runs at FP2 just so it syncs up with the track evo and stuff of qualifying the next day. So yeah, that's when you kind of see the soft runs. And then FP3, oh my god, Yuki again losing the rear. You can really see he definitely seems like he's pushing more than Liam. But he's a lot of little mistakes here and there. That's a good lap from Yuki, to be honest. It's a good lap from Yuki. Only 5/10 off a pole, but we'll see. Again, practice times are it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Sup DZ, how's it going? Hi chat, I'm super hyped for Japanese FP weekend on TV. What's up, Dan David? Lawson getting bodied by his rookie diva. Hey, it's practice, chill. The turkey livery kept the yellow from the Rebel logo and the current V-carb, hence the color pop. Yeah, true. They probably couldn't do that because it would look too much like a V-carb. Oh my god, look at the onboard. The onboard is so sexy. Yeah, you can really see Yuki wrestling that car. I found you through the streamer reacts videos someone makes with you include and recognize the accent, but you've got a small bit of British slang in your voice now. I was confused if you're from AU or NZ or not. So I was born in Australia, but I grew up in New Zealand for 10 years. Then I went back to Australia for the other 10 years of my life. And now I'm living in London. So I think my accent is like slowly fading. One, because I don't hang out with people in real life. You know what I mean? My job is so isolating. So all I hear is British people on the F1 broadcast. All I hear is British YouTubers. I now live in the UK, so I do feel like my accent will slowly fade. But I think my accent's always been a mix of New Zealand and Australia anyway, which kind of sounds somewhat British. But I think I'm always going to probably speak Australian. I'll always drag out my words. You know what I mean? What's an example I can say? Like yeah, mate. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like I don't know how to speak like that, obviously, but what was an example? Like, Australians just drag out their words. I think that's I'll still always do that, I think. Yo, Josh, I missed your message in chat. How's it going, dude? Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. Is Tsunoda 1 second off of the pace, or is he doing long runs or something? I mean, probably just getting, this is his first time ever in the Red Bull. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take time. I enjoy going back to watch the reaction videos over older races. Yeah, that's why I love the live reaction series I do on my YouTube channel. I do feel like it's not as, how do I explain it? I wish the live reaction series did better on my channel than it does. But what Chris has been doing with the fan reactions, I absolutely love. You know what I mean? Like, I think having everyone's reaction in one video, seeing how we all have different opinions, I fucking love it so much. What's happened to Sign? Says he just sped into the pit lane? What's happened? Oh no. So Signs has come in the pits and he's been told, remember, we're at the start of the pit lane this weekend, not the end. And he's completely driven past it and he's had to do another lap. That is funny. Yes, if you don't know, every team picks their garage, their pit lane garage order based off of a championship order. So McLaren pick first, then Ferrari, then Red Bull, then Mercedes, so on. So Williams obviously have one of the last picks. So sometimes McLaren like to pick the garage on the end. Sometimes they like on the far end, and some like to pick it on the close ends. Sometimes teams like to drive straight into their pit, but some teams like to have a better exit. So depending on the Grand Prix, McLaren, or aka the team that finished first in the constructors last year, will pick a different garage each Grand Prix, which means everyone kind of gets moved around a little bit. So obviously Williams at the opposite end this weekend, along with the other teams, I'd say. Love Oscar's helmet with the blue waves. Does Yuki's fantasy price go up? Yeah, so obviously when they switch teams, they kind of get reset. So Yuki's price has gone up, but he is cheaper than Liam though, and Liam's I think the same price as Yuki. Was already in the British bias allegation when you live in Australia. Yeah, facts. Here's on board with Max. We've got a new curbing. If you look on the left of Max's car here, boom, there. That is a new curbing. So they've gotten rid of the runoff and it's just full gravel now. So basically you have to be really careful going through there now. Otherwise you are going to end up in the gravel. When did you move to Taronga? So I never moved to Taronga. Oh, sorry. Well, we moved when I was 1. And then I lived in Taronga for 10 years, basically. Australia and New Zealand are sick at rugby, sick at cricket and rugby. Yeah, growing up in New Zealand, rugby is so big there. And in Australia, up north, it's more rugby is popular. Yeah, cricket's very popular in Australia as well, but New Zealand not so much. I mean, it's popular, but nowhere near as much as Australia. Max saying the car is flexing a lot. I wonder what that's in reference to. Whoever the dude is that likes riding the Ocon train must be the only person on board. Yeah, that's T-Max. So for people who don't know, the Chris who makes the fan reaction series, that's Chris in chat. He's my mod of the stream. So he makes the reactions, and then T-Mac is a friend of mine. So it's kind of fun every single week having everyone, you know, all the creators that I know and stuff like that. Alonso cooking. Wait, am I delayed? He just went up to P10. Oh, or is it? Or are you just reacting to the purple? Oh, you're just reacting to the purple. I see. Well, that lap only put him up to P10, but it was on the hard tire. But to be fair, it's behind Albon and Hadja right now, so nothing too great. But purple sector 1's nice. Purple sector, yeah, 1's nice. Yeah, there's the once I realized you had extended videos. Once I finished Chris's videos, watch all yours too. Which went to do reactions yesterday. Oh, nice. Yeah, I guess that's the goal, right? Like for me, my live reaction series on YouTube was always, it was never made to be like some epic YouTube series and blah blah blah. You know, it was always meant to be a way for people to discover that, oh, this guy does reactions and he streams on Twitch. It's always meant to be kind of like content for people to bring people over to my Twitch streams, or bring people now over to my YouTube streams. So when Chris started the fan reactions, I absolutely loved it. You know, it was something that I had the idea of doing for ages, and I was like, Chris at the time was doing compilation videos, so I said, Chris, you should do compilations of F1 fans reactions to Grand Prix, and then he did one and it banged, and then he did 2, and then now it's, you know, been a series basically for 3 seasons. And you know, again, for me, my goal of YouTube content is always to bring people to my streams. So Chris making the fan reactions that gets seen by tens of, what is it, like almost 40,000-50,000 people every week is so good, and the videos are just so entertaining. But then yeah, obviously my reaction videos still exist because obviously helps my channel, but for people who maybe don't want to watch other people's reactions, or people who want to watch it more like extended cut, less cut down. So yeah, you got both options. I've heard that Cadillac have spoken to Perez about being one of the drivers the next day. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Perez joins Cadillac. It looks very, very likely now. Even Andretti defending. Oh, some traffic there. Even Andretti saying that Perez wasn't the problem at Red Bull, and kind of like coming out and backing Perez. So it's quite interesting. Fans reacts. Best bits is when Ferrari does something random and everyone logs onto P1 stream for about 100%. Where you get the leaderboard on the left. So this is from Multiviewer. It's a free app that you can download to enhance your F1 TV experience. You get live timings. You can get multicam view. It's fucking amazing. Highly recommend it if you've got F1 TV. Good team meeting now. Have fun. Catch you later, Artemis. Seeing Yuki with the Rebel Racing logo just feels a bit weird after seeing him in the second team for so long. Oh, 100%, 100%. Ooh, Stroll there, losing the rare. It's not gonna matter. Cadillac is gonna be the next Harsh, you reckon? What's up, Lachlan Smith? How's it going, dude? What's up, Liam Felton? Why RB only team on softs already? And teams they all have different runs: high fuel, low fuel, mid fuel, different compounded tires, pushing and non-pushing laps. Some will be testing setups, some will be testing new parts. Every team does something different, specifically in practice one. What's up, Formula Fantasy Hub? How's it going? Going to be doing my fantasy team after FP3 tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Might have to chuck Liam in the team. Excuse me. The Leclerc's helmet never misses. Oh, honestly, man, I would say his base helmet is probably one of his weaker helmets this year. Sorry, his base helmet this year is one of his weakest helmets ever, but it's still so much better than most drivers on the grid, in my opinion. Alex is sick. Love that he kept his blue pink colors with it too. Yeah, I have to have a look. I haven't looked at Albon's yet. He's the only one I haven't looked at. Dedicated being up at what, 3 a.m. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this is what I love doing, man. You know, my job is to be an F1 content creator, so wake up at 3 a.m. to a couple of times a year to watch practice, even though yes, I have to be quiet, and yes, you know, practice isn't that entertaining to watch. You know, to be able to go live and chat with you guys about Formula One it's what I love doing. So Williams looking good. Carlos looks improving. Would be great to have points. Yeah, we need signs to step it up. Also, one little note I've just noticed: Alpine have had their logo changed on the timing board from white to blue. I like that. I like that. Alpine's logo is actually normally blue, which is good, but also it just means there's less white on the timing board. I think every other logo is the same though. Yeah. Russell's a man on the mission this season. Oh yeah, he's 100% most underrated driver on the grid. I mean, people have now started to recognize it, but he's always that driver who's just on the verge of a podium, or on, you know, like he's always just taking away the points from people who fumble, aka Piastri in Australia, aka Ferrari and Max in China. You only gonna see F1 at Silverstone? If yes, you both need to get tickets as they will sell out quickly. Yeah, neither of us have bought tickets. We went last year with the company. Last year we actually got invited through Silverstone, which was amazing. This year, yeah, I guess we're maybe hoping to go with a partner or something like that, or a company or whatever. Just because it's like our local Grand Prix now. Yeah, I'm hoping to be able to get to Silverstone this year. I've got no other Grand Prix planned. Silverstone I'd absolutely love to get to. Not known as a fan, but just to get content and stuff like that. So we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, Silverstone's the one I'm kind of aiming for to try get to content wise. My ideal world would be able to would be going to Silverstone on Thursday and Friday. IRL streaming, getting some content, and then coming home and doing watchalongs for Saturday and Sunday. I think that'd be my ideal world. The love of the game. If anyone had Liam or Yuki in their fantasy and they have to change them out, yeah, and you have to take a driver swap. What do you call it? Like, you have to take a substitute for it, which kind of sucks, but also makes sense because you are swapping them out. Love Gasly's helmet this weekend. Oh, Gasly got a special helmet as well. I haven't seen Gasly's. So I have to look at Gasly and Albon's then. Russell is the one to get the podium if there's an instant in the top 3. Oh, yeah. Austria is a great one that comes to mind. Lando and Max colliding, and then Russell just taking the win. I've been to Silverstone about 20 times to see F1. Damn, Silverstone's about 40 minutes car ride from where I live. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's a real big hassle for me to get to Silverstone. It takes 40 minutes to get to London, and then because we're south of London, so it takes 40 minutes to get to London, and then like however many hours by train to get to Milton Keynes, and then bus to Silverstone, and you know the traffic and the delays It took us literally 5 hours to get from home to Silverstone last Sunday. Wow, Yuki up to P2. Holy, maybe he is the solution to the Red Bull problem. This is something I am worried about though, right? As a Liam fan, you know, the car is hard to drive, but Liam was given 2 tracks he's never been to. The car was in a really bad state, and then we're now coming to Silverstone, a track that Yuki's aware of. The car's going to be in a better position. I'm really worried that this is going to make Liam look so bad when in reality maybe the car isn't going to be as bad as what it was on the previous races. But regardless, if Yuki can just be on it and just for the first time actually be comfortable in a Red Bull, unlike Perez, unlike Albon, unlike Gasly, unlike Liam, that would be so fucking good. Oh my god, why did it look like Max lost the rear there? The fuck? Or maybe Red Bull were finally wised up and they're like, you know what? Let's make the car a little bit slower, but let's make it more comfortable to drive. But even Max is making these little adjustments and stuff here on the wheel. Let's see what Max responds with. He's matching Russell right now in sector 1. They just should have given the car to Yuki in the first place, and this drama wouldn't even exist. Yeah, but then we could have had the drama. They could have given Yuki the seat, and then we could have had those 2 awful races as well. We don't really know. You never know. You never know. Imagine Yuki out qualifies Max. That would be wild. Yeah, great point. Great point for Sonoda. Why are you comparing yourself to Russell? I think just focus on yourself. Focus on the setup. If he starts pushing too hard to catch Russell or to catch Max, that's where those problems will come in. All right, here we go. Max, where's he going to go? Wow, P2. So that's really good for Yuki, man. Holy. If Yuki was the solution this whole time, that is wild. Okay, question now. So all week, everyone's been talking about if Yuki is bad, what do Red Bull do? Right? What do they do? Who do they get? Do they get Daniel? Do they put fucking Hadja in the car? What do they genuinely do if Yuki's terrible as well? What no one's spoken about is if Yuki does well and starts being close to Max, right? Do we then go to Liam? Do we then go to Perez? Do we then go to Gasly? Do we then go to Albon and go, oh, it was the car? Or do we generally have to say, well, maybe those 4 drivers just weren't good enough drivers to adjust to a hard to drive Red Bull? Because there is still there's still the conversation of, wow, is the car bad and Yuki's the only one that can drive it? Or were those drivers just not good at adapting to a car that, it's hard to drive, yeah, but Max can adapt to it. Now Yuki might be able to adapt to it. I mean, again, it's only practice 1, but we'll see. You're not pushing full out in practice. Everyone else isn't pushing full out in practice. Liam, P7, that's what we like to see. P7, that's what we like to see. Tracks seem to be getting better, though. Everyone is improving their times a lot now. So we'll see when McLaren go up. McLaren haven't been at the top of the standings yet. What's up, Pedro, on the stream, dude? Thank you for the follow. Also, Gibbon, Asker, Whoopsley. Thank you guys for the follows. Oh, wow. That's, yeah. Second or third time Norris has hit that curb and gone off. Okay, so maybe the car's not in the right window right now with that setup. They're getting power mogged, unfortunately. What, guys? It's practice 1. Oh, I can't take another week of just slander from practice. No way it's gonna be practice sessions now. Oh my god. How's it going though? So, hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. What's happened to Norris? Yeah, the car just completely loses the rear on the second part of the chicane. Feels like Liam's done Yuki a bit of a favor, even putting them on sauce this whole session is a nice confidence builder. That said, Liam down at 14th isn't doing much rep. Well, that got outdated very quickly. At that point, put Yoss in the second car. No way Norris would get blame the V carb in front of fucking nowhere near. Well, so far Yuki is doing better than Lawson. Still too soon. Yeah, no, he's definitely doing well. He's definitely doing well. But people are also forgetting testing and practice in Australia where Liam was also doing good. It's just, you know, everyone's only going to remember the qualifying the race sessions. River too impatient with their number 2 drivers. I hope Yuki does well. Oh my god, why is that? Hello, Sauber. There's a Ferrari behind you. He didn't give a fuck. He did not give a fuck. Do you think anyone is going to be able to fight for the World Constructors Championship or even World Driver Championship versus McLaren? World Driver Championship, yeah, Max should be able to. Even Russell could be potentially in contention if Mercedes develop over the course of this year. And Ferrari. I'm sure Ferrari will turn it around. Constructors, yeah, it will probably end up being a Ferrari. But I think, like last year, I think McLaren are going to have a nice start to the season. Oh, album went off. McLaren are gonna have a nice start to the season. It depends how the other teams react mid and end point of the season. Because it definitely feels like McLaren threw a lot of money and a lot of time into their last year's car. And you know, just like Red Bull did in the past, it can only get to sometimes it can get to a point where it can only be so good. So what teams are going to be able to catch? Can't watch while at work. How's Yuki doing F1? He's doing really, really good. Really, really good. He's obviously making a few little mistakes in the car, but he's really pushing, and he's only a 10th off Max right now, which is amazing. If McLaren has a good start, the others will just ditch the season and focus on 2026. No. Potentially, I mean, there is talks that we might keep these regs for another 2 years, but they have to make that decision soon. They have to make that decision soon. What was that? What else was I going to say? Yeah, teams will definitely start ditching this year for 2026 100%, but some teams might focus on both. Excuse me. What do you think about Lando Norris? What's up, Alex Bum? Welcome to the stream. I think Lando Norris is a great talent. I think he's a top tier driver. I think he just needs to prove. I think after last season and what I feel was a massive fumble with the amount of points and stuff him and McLaren lost in the championship, I feel like he needs to prove that he's a championship level driver by convincingly beating Piastri and winning the championship this year. But yeah. I think Norris is a great driver. He just needs to keep his mouth shut. Holy fuck. Did you guys see the quote from Norris yesterday? Can someone type the quote in chat just so I don't get it wrong? Speaking of Norris though, he's about to go up to the top. Boom, up to the top by 2/10. There you go. That's the McLaren that we're used to. Weather's looking good. Carlos, oh, I read that. Yuki's already done more than Lawson one session. Yuki Merck looking good. Guess the Haas upgrade not kicking in. Yeah, not right now. Way down on last. Crazy how Haas were cooking last weekend in China, but they look a bit dead right now. But again, only on medium tires. We'll see. We'll see. When's the vote for the FIA president? Oh, yeah, good point. I don't know when that is. Basically, Lando said the difference between us and the other teams at the moment are the drivers. We're the only team with 2 good drivers in the team. That was an actual quote from Lando. That was an actual quote that Lando Norris said. The difference between us and the other teams right now isn't the car, it's the 2 drivers. We're the only team with 2 good drivers. He specifically said 2 good drivers. So first off, he's saying Hamilton is not good, and he's saying Carlos Sainz is not good. like maybe he's talking right now in this moment. Right now, Carlos Sainz is not up to speed in the Williams, and Hamilton's still adjusting the Ferrari. I mean, that's just fucking stupid. But then discrediting your team and how good the car is to kind of glaze yourself. Like, no one's sitting here, Lando, and saying you don't deserve the championship winning car. No one's saying you're not a good driver. But you can acknowledge that you've got a good car and a good driver. You don't have, it doesn't have to be all about the driver, all about the car. Like, no one sat there in 2024 other than fucking idiots online and said, oh, Max is only winning because of the car. And no one's sitting here saying you're only winning because of the car. Are people maybe somewhat a Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes fans annoyed that you're winning? Yeah, probably, because they don't want a driver they aren't a fan of winning. But it doesn't mean they don't think you're good. And I just don't know why he keeps having to say these quotes to try to prove himself. Do the proving on track. Finish 1-2 and fucking beat Piastri. Literally put the fries in the bag, bro. Put the lap times on the board, man. Put the lap times on the board. Sick of this yap. Prior to last season, I was a big fan of Lando. Like, maybe top 5 drivers on the grid for me. I loved all his off-track stuff. I loved his kind of like, yeah, for me it was just his approach to Formula One and his approach to like marketing and like off-track activities. Then last season we started to see the cracks kind of come in where it was like, you know, he had the fastest car, but he was just kind of capping and not saying it was quick. All the kind of ego stuff that he had with Lewis Hamilton and stuff like that. And I was really looking forward to Lando this year, coming in with a refreshed mindset. All his preseason interviews were fantastic. He really looked like he was locked in and ready for this year. And then last week he had a fucking terrible quote. I can't remember what it was. But he had a terrible quote, and I was like, oh my god, are we serious? And now here we are this week, and another terrible quote. What was last week's quote? That doesn't sound right. I'm pretty sure I watched an interview when he said having the best car makes things easier for them. Yeah, well, the quote I saw was an exact quote from him. You know, I'll get the quote up exactly, just so I know I'm not wrong. Kick the hole and just speak up. Okay, so Lando said, okay, he said, we've seen over the last week and a half other people saying they don't think we're that far away. So as much as Max might say stuff, his last stint in China was very strong. Still not as good as us, but it was a lot more competitive. Fred Vasseur said that he thinks, that doesn't make sense. Fred Vasseur said that he thinks Ferrari should be competing against us, and a lot moved up there. In fact, they beat us in the sprint, and they outqualified us in the sprint. So we're not that far ahead of them. Yeah, but I hate when Lando does this. I hate when he makes a mistake, right, in the fastest car, and then goes, yeah, but they beat us, see, they beat us. They're good. Yeah, but they shouldn't have beat you. You shouldn't have fucking finished P8 in the sprint. You shouldn't have finished P8 in the sprint. Your teammate finished P2. You shouldn't have finished P8 in the sprint. Anyways, continuing on, he says, people love to be saying that, but it's because we literally are the only team that has 2 good drivers at the minute. That's the big difference. If one of us was doing a lot worse or one of us was not as strong, we'd be getting worse results. The China sprint, Oscar was 2nd or 3rd, and I was already 8th. But you'd have that a lot more often, like you do with Ferrari or like you do with Red Bull. Max is up there, and you have the other driver a lot further back. How is that relevant to your car? He's basically saying if his teammate was Nikita Mazepin, their car wouldn't be as good, which just is irrelevant and dumb. Obviously he's talking about the Constructors' Championship and saying the McLaren's strong, but no one looks at the Constructors' Championship and goes, okay, McLaren's strong. No, they look at the car. They look at the fucking car. They don't look at the constructor. When has anyone ever looked at the Constructors' Championship and gone, yes, that team is very strong? No, you look at the fucking car. And looking at the car, the McLaren is strong. So it doesn't matter if you got fucking Nikita Mazepin in the second seat. Your car is strong. But also just saying, we're the only team with 2 good drivers at the moment. Okay. Okay, bro. Yeah, you're the best driver lineup on the grid at the moment, but... So I had to rant because that quote from Lando pissed me off. Was it sarcastic? We need more context. There you go. There you go. Worst quote makers in F1. Helmut Marko. Lando Norris. I'll say this though. I say this about everyone. I obviously do not like Helmut Marko's quotes, but at least he's based. At least he says stuff and he sticks to it. I mean, actually, to be fair, he flip-flops a lot. Nobody would shit talk Lando if he would just shut his mouth and actually perform. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Are we there yet? That's the thing though. I defend Liam. People use... This is the thing though. I'm going to defend Liam here. But like, people obviously say Liam runs his mouth, and if he shut his mouth, people wouldn't criticize him. I don't think that's true. And I think the same thing for Lando. People would still criticize him if he didn't shut his mouth. The problem is the quotes just become funny and very ironic when they're not backed up. The difference is though, I feel like with Liam, it was a confidence thing. He didn't say anything wrong. It's just people use that confidence to be like, you were confident, you shouldn't have been. Whereas Lando is just basically saying non-factual information to glaze himself. He always tries to uplift anything he does by downplaying the car. It's so corny. Reading in between the lines of what he actually saying instead of reading the headlines, it wasn't that bad. Context is massive. I mean, I just read it. I literally just read the full conversation that he had in that interview. And to me, he separates the team, the drivers and himself from one another when it suits him, and he brings them together when it suits him. So for instance, when he has a bad session, aka the sprint in China, it's never I did bad, it's oh, we did bad, blah, 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 blah. But then when he does good, it's yeah, but there's a difference between the car and me. You can't just change it depending on how you feel, in my opinion. I don't trust a lot of F1 reporting though. Sometimes they just try to create drama. I 100% agree with the headline baiting, 100%. But that quote to me doesn't seem like it's been misconstrued in any way. I don't. Sup, Fish? How's it going? Why are you up at fucking 4 a.m., man? I could argue that both the drivers drive good info to the team to help both their cars. Oh, 100% Topher, 100%. Lando hater question mark? Me criticizing Lando Norris because we're talking about a quote from Lando Norris does not mean I hate Lando Norris. Just like if I criticize Yuki Tsunoda, it doesn't mean I hate him. Just like if I criticize Liam Lawson, doesn't mean I fucking hate him, right? But obviously, if someone has done something that I disagree with, I'm going to talk about it. I don't sit here on my content and talk about the things when the fans like something, I talk about it positively. When the fans don't like something, I talk about it negatively. No, I don't do that. I don't appease my opinions to fans. I make my own opinions based off of how I feel. But two, we talk about every single driver. I'll compliment Lando when he does well, and I'll criticize him when he does bad. I'll compliment Max when he does well, and I'll criticize him when he does bad. But the thing is, as a Red Bull fan, a lot of people watch my content and be like, oh, you glazed Max. But there's nothing really to criticize Max about. Okay, Mexico last year, absolutely shocking race from Max. But then again, it got him points in the championship, right? It's hard being a Max fan, and people are like, yeah, but you never criticize Max. But there's nothing to criticize Max about. There's hardly anything to criticize Max about. And there's no way anyone watching my content over the last couple weeks can sit here and chat, in my opinion, and say you're biased towards Red Bull. Because if you've watched my content the last 2 weeks, I've done nothing but criticize Red Bull for the way they've handled the Liam and Yuki situation. I've done nothing but criticize them. So if you think I'm biased towards Red Bull after sitting here for 2 weeks criticizing them, then you've clearly not watched my content. You don't have enough of opinion to sit and chat and say I'm biased. Yuki doing great, even though it's just practice. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Only a 10th off max. I mean, I would love to see some more times here, but it does look like this is how it's going to end. Lando just talks what comes up, no filter. I don't know if it's a no, and I'm gonna disagree, to be honest. I don't know if it's a no filter thing. I think he just doesn't think before he says something. Like don't get me wrong, are Lando and Piastri the best 2 drivers on the grid? 100%. But using the words "we're the only 2 good drivers," I'm sure even he would probably watch that interview back and be like, "Fuck, I shouldn't have said that." You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say it's no filter. Maybe that is no filter. I think he just uses the wrong words. He's very sarcastic. I don't think he was saying that in a sarcastic way, but yeah. You're saying about the like okay, I'll ask you this. Has Max ever sat down in an interview and said, "Oh, it's not the car, it's me"? I don't think I've ever heard Max ever sit down in an interview and say, "It's not the car, it's me. I'm making the difference." I don't think if Max had a teammate as good as himself, he would sit in an interview and say, "Oh, it's not the team. We've got the 2 best. Sorry, it's not the car. We've got the 2 best drivers on the grid now." I can never imagine Max ever saying that. When Max had the fastest car, you know, there's interviews that have come up now to reference this. In the context of Lando Norris is like, and having the fastest car, you know, there's interviews of Max literally saying, "Yeah, Charles did a great job. I mean, obviously his car isn't as competitive as us, so you know we got a nice little battle, but it's nothing to do with Charles. It's more to do with our car being stronger." Like he never says like, "Oh yeah, I'm just better," or blah blah blah. It's always, you know, yeah. I was ride or die for Max kind of respect. I think Norris is just a nervous an interview. Yeah, I mean we've seen recently he said he really hates interviews and he finds that stuff hard. So the only person who can criticize Max is Kvyat. Good to see Yuki 1.1 tenths behind Max. He's really close. Lando's topping right now. Yeah, not by much though, which is good. It's good that Lando's kind of ironed out those mistakes in the last sector. But yeah, I obviously really want the teams to close up on McLaren. Like, you know, I don't mind if McLaren win the championship. You know, I'm not like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna be so upset if Lando and McLaren win the championship." Absolutely not. But I want there to be a fight. I want there to be a fight. At least a fight between Norris and Piastri. I don't know where Piastri is right now. P15. What's he doing? What's happening to you here in the head, man? So I don't think they sound like a canned sound bites from the media team. They have a couple more laps. Maybe he did it in the interview with you last year, but we wouldn't know because it's not out. Why have been so slow here? But they're going to be on the podium in Bahrain. You reckon Alpine's going to be on the podium in Bahrain? Holy. Hirakawa is 2-time hypercar champion WEC and champ in 24 Hours Le Mans. I think he's just here to give engineering feedback. No, he would be mainly here to obviously it's his home Grand Prix. So he's from Japan, so it makes sense to give him FP1 a little bit of a marketing push. But every single team needs to do at least 2 practice sessions with the rookies, so it makes sense to put Hirakawa in the car at this Grand Prix. Wasn't Bottas driving McLaren for the session this weekend, or am I crazy? No, so he did a private test in a McLaren because he's a Mercedes reserve driver, and being a Mercedes reserve driver means you're also a reserve driver for McLaren, so that's why Bottas did that. Yeah, Yuki's done really, really well. I did not expect this after the first practice session. Maybe Max's time isn't as good as it should be, but that's a great starting point for Yuki to build some confidence. The sass on the radio. Ocon looking good this weekend. Solid P19. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to Haas, man. I mean, they're not as bad as Australia, but Australia, P19, P20. China, best of the rest. This week, P19, P20. Oh, Antonelli off track. Recreating the F1 manager save where he crashed 3 times over the course of the weekend. Savannah, NKLZ, Alex Bum. Thank you guys for the follows. Bum the stream. What's happening to the Haas, bro? It's the high speeds. What, Haas not good in high speed, just say? Haas is shit at high speed corners, right? Red Bull's good at high speed corners, right? Apparently they have a new floor as well, right? Maybe still testing that out. What's happened to Antonelli here in the hairpin? Yeah, anyone else feel like this practice session has been absolutely crazy? There's so much happening, so much to talk about. Is that just me? Like, I feel like it's been non-stop talking the whole time. Who's this commentator who's this third commentator on F1 TV? Capsule, name of the volley. Wait, is that Callum Nicholas? Ah, I only just clocked who it was. That's yeah, Callum. So he's ex Red Bull mechanic. Specifically, he did all the power unit stuff for the team. So he'd put the engine in and out of the car and track the parts and blah blah blah. But announced at the start of this year that he was retiring, or at least taking a break for now, but retiring from the sport. He is still a Red Bull Racing ambassador, which is really, really cool. So he'll still be like doing interviews and marketing stuff for the team and helping with the engineering programs and stuff at the team, but overall just not working day to day anymore. Who is HIR? That's Hirakawa. He's a Japanese driver from WEC. He's a reserve driver for Alpine and McLaren, I think. Was it just Alpine? Do you think Yuki will still be as close to Max when it comes to quality and trying to get everything out of the car? I mean, I said it before coming to the weekend. I'm not going to change my opinion now. I don't think Yuki's going to be close to Max in quality. I think once you have to push that car to the max and get it in the... You've got to remember, like, let's say this is a normal car's window. This is the Red Bull's window in practice. Qualifying, it becomes so thin. Getting it in that window for qualifying where you have to get it perfect, I don't think he's going to be able to do it, especially in his first Grand Prix, but I hope I'm proven wrong, man. I hope I'm proven wrong. How many reserve drivers do we have? Yeah, Alpine there's a lot. We have Valtteri, this guy, Pato, and so many. Well, every team's going to have a reserve driver. Haas have... What the fuck? I just got a... Did you hear that? I just got a notification saying, we have detected inactivity on your TikTok live. And I have to do a capture to make sure, to prove I'm not inactive. What the fuck? That freaked me out. Here we go. The data between Max and Sonoda. Wow, they're really close. Wow. Look how close they look. Who's White? White's Yuki. You can kind of see a few times where he doesn't have the confidence on the throttle. Or the braking like Max has, but overall it's very similar. Like, look how identical that low speed part is in the middle of the screen. Holy. And the end. Boring stream confirmed even TikTok wasn't an end. No, apparently I think like every hour or so you have to do a capture on TikTok. It's fucking weird. So weird how like almost calls you. Calling you, by the way, your TikTok's inactive. Alright guys, that wraps up practice one. We'll watch obviously as all the drivers finish their laps, but thank you all for tuning on in for the watch along. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit the follow button or the subscription button down below. We do watch alongs like this for every single Grand Prix weekend, for every single session. So join me in 2.5 hours time for practice two, as well as the rest of the sessions this weekend. But yeah, let's go through it. Norris at the top, as we'd expect from McLaren, but his teammate down in P15, which is quite disappointing. Again, it's only practice, but yeah. Russell P2, that's good to see. Ferraris look, like maybe they've kind of solved their problems a little bit, but again, only practice one, and they're still 5 tenths off of McLaren. Red Bull also 5 tenths off McLaren, but look how close Yuki and Max are. Is that just not? Is it because Yuki? Is that because Max is still? Checker, thank you for the 7. Interesting number there. 7 gifted subs. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it, man. Wait, who's number 7? Is it Kimi? Was that 7 for Kimi Räikkönen? Wait, no. Wait, what even number is Kimi Antonelli? But Checker, it is Kimi Räikkönen. Yeah. But wait, who's 7 this year? Is it Duan? 7's Duan. 7 for Duan. Who didn't even do the session. But Checker, thank you so much, man. Really do appreciate your support in the stream. Thank you. Appreciate you dropping a 7 bomb. If you got a sub from Checker, be sure to say thank you. W's in chat for Checker. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it, Checker. Okay, back to the live timers though. There was a sub goal and had the feeling to fill it. Oh, I appreciate it, Checker. Thank you, man. It means a lot. Appreciate the support. Oh, Yuki Radio. Interesting. That's really like that from Yuki. He's had a really good session, and he's hopped on the radio and said, "Look, not comfortable with the car and track." It was really funny because remember we were criticizing Yuki's interview not even 12 hours ago. We were criticizing Yuki's interview of where he's like, "In the simulator, I feel fine. I'm gonna be fine. The simulator was fine." And I'm like, Yuki, man, the simulator is completely different to the car. Perez can tell you that. Daniel can tell you that. Liam can tell you that. And he's come out on track, and what do you know? He's not happy with the car, but he's done well. Anyways, what I was saying about Max and Yuki is this looks really close right now, but I don't want to see people on Twitter being like, "Oh my God, Yuki's so close to Max. Oh my God, Liam sucks," because these guys are still 5 tenths off of McLaren, and McLaren still haven't done the best lap that they've done. So Max, what if Max has 5 more tenths of improvement? Then Yuki's still a little bit off, but still, that is a decent time from Yuki. But we'll see what happens when qualifying comes. When you need to get that car in that small window, we'll see what Yuki can do. But it's looking positive so far. Best of rest, we've got Fernando Alonso. Very interesting to see Aston Martin up here this weekend. Hadron P8, Antonelli P9, quite far off of his teammates. That's quite disappointing. Sainz ahead of Albon in practice. I mean, that's kind of been the case for most practice sessions this year so far, where Sainz is above Albon. Hirakawa ahead of Gasly. Wow. Well done, Hirakawa. 2 tenths ahead of Gasly. Piastri way down. That's disappointing. Liam, how far was he off of Hadja? 3 tenths. Maybe still getting comfortable with the car, but again, only practice. Stroll, 5 tenths off of Alonso. Not great as well, but again, only practice. Stroll's been doing pretty good this season so far. And then we've got Salvers and Haas at the back where they belong. So, yeah, very, very interesting practice 1 session. Yo, T. George, thank you so much for the raid, dude. I appreciate it. How was your guys' stream? How was your stream? What are you doing today? We doing a watch along as well? We're trying to hedge as much as possible. I thought Liam likes this track. He does, but it's only practice, guys. Only practice. Also, ahead of Lawson, maybe V-Cup should hire Hirakawa. I've seen enough drop Gasly for Aaron. Liam only got 1 flying lap. I wasn't paying that much attention, to be honest. Liam did suck, though. As a Ferrari fan, I'm rooting for Yuki Podium. Oh, man. Yuki Podium at home would be so good. It's going to be very hard to do, though. All right, guys, that is it for practice 1. Thank you all for watching. Twitch and YouTube gang, I'm going to end the stream there. We're going to stay live on Twitch just for a couple more minutes if you want to come join us. Twitch is the main place to be. I'm always live on Twitch, and then we go live on YouTube and TikTok for watch-alongs and other content, because obviously sometimes I can't show certain things on TikTok and YouTube because it doesn't allow me to. But anyways, catch Ali, what's up, dude? Thank you. Love you too. What's up, Isabella? Anyways, TikTok gang, YouTube gang, I'll see you guys for practice 2